facts.
If Mondo Kwebolo was genuinely interested in local government funds, would have protested to be cancelled.
Somebody is receiving 30,000 naira after serving the country for 5 years.
From the stories shaping Nigeria's future.
And the dumping my mood for that whenever people are clapping, he's praising singers when they ought to be telling him the truth.
I mean, he did not do any remarkable thing in your state, and you are celebrating corruption time.
To real-time feedback from you, the citizens.
There is propaganda. They can never make it work. I will not support that tax reform.
If NBS is turning out very fake data to us because this data lacks empirical evidence.
We dig deep with the decision makers, hold the powerful accountable, and keep the conversation alive on social media. Join Maryann Okon every Monday to Friday, 3 p.m. to 6 p.m. for the most interesting news and current affairs show on radio.
I'm so sorry. I hate it when people make assertions from very skewed and biased places.
Hard Facts on Nigeria Info 99.3. Let's talk.
And talk we shall. 9 minutes gone past the 3 o'clock hour. Welcoming you officially to the nation's #1 talk news and sports radio station. We are broadcasting live from our audiovisual studios right here in and Crescent, Victoria Island, Lagos. This is Hard Facts, and I am Maryann Okon. Welcome, Lagos. Welcome, Nigeria. Hello, world. Well, we're starting from now as usual. It's a full show. A lot to talk about, a lot to unpack. I was just having a conversation with Feta, and really, to my fellow... to my colleagues and fellow Nigerians, what a time to be alive, you know? The news is depressing. The situation of things, depressing. Even the Super Eagles did not even win. They drew. It's an interesting time to be alive, yeah? Welcome to the show. We're starting with the big 3 stories for today. I'm going to let you do a lot more of the talking. I'll just listen. And then, of course, we will do more talking on the 5 o'clock hour, where we're going to be looking at some of the bills that have been passed on the floor of the National Assembly and consider the content. I'll take one, actually, which is one of the big stories for today. And then let's see how we can make sense of it. And another, it's basically you and I just jaw-jawing, because the question obviously is, how many of us are aware of these bills? Are we taking into consideration the things that are happening on the floor of the National Assembly? And there's also some very interesting, but there's something right now, and we tend to necessarily upon look through the words and the intent of these bills that have been passed, because one way or the other, when they come law, it does affect. Anyway, welcome to the show. Let's go straight to the big 3.
Get ready for the most important news of the day. It's time for the Big 3 Stories on Hard Facts. Tune in to our primetime show for the latest updates and in-depth analysis on the top stories making headlines. From breaking news to in-depth investigations, we bring you the facts you need to know. Join us as we delve into the biggest stories shaping our world today. Tune in to the Big 3 every weekday, 3 to 4 p.m. and stay informed with the news that matters the most. Hard Facts, where the truth always comes first.
This is Hard Facts on Nigeria Info 99.3 FM. My name is Shego Arinze.
This is Hard Facts.
All right, we're live, facebook.com/Nigeria Info FM. We're also live on YouTube, Nigeria Info FM. You can join the conversation if you're listening live from outside of the country. Call us via WhatsApp. It's 0809-5975805. Yes, of course, the phone lines will be open in a bit, but on our live stream, you can post your comments and your thoughts. But first, what are you giving your thoughts on? These are the big stories for today. Let's start with the immunity debate. Now, that's one of the bills that have passed. What is good for the president is good for the vice president? So this is a story from the Daily Trust newspaper, and the move by the House of Representatives to strip the vice president, governors and their deputies of their immunity while sparing the president has sparked debates among stakeholders who have faulted the logic of the proposed legislation, I beg your pardon, by the Green Chamber. The stakeholders, including political scientists, civil rights activists, politicians, while speaking on the proposed amendment, that both the president and the vice president are usually elected on a joint ticket. Hence, both should enjoy the same privilege. Among those who spoke on this is a senior lecturer with the Department of Political Science, Bayero University, Kano, Dr. Aminu Hayatu, and a human rights activist, former Kaduna Senator Shehu Sani. According to them, what is good for the president is also good for the vice president. Hence, any proposal to remove immunity must affect both the president and the vice president. Yeah. And if we must take it from the governors, who are also as powerful as the president, then the president's own must also go. So everyone must be stripped. If the stripping must be a thing, then it has to go for everybody. In other words, well, the Daily Trust newspaper reports that the House of Representatives yesterday passed this particular bill for second reading, seeking to amend the constitution to strip the vice president, governors and deputy governors of immunity. Second reading. How many of you knew this? How many of you knew about this? Do you even know the number of bills? 39 of them, have been passed. I know that things are tough and there are too many problems in the country, but you see those laws, those bills, if they become law, it will affect us. So I don't think that we should not think about them, not consider them. Hence the conversation today. And today, today's conversation is just going to be more like a springboard for more of the conversations about the bills, the 39 of them. And I'm sure that some of my colleagues will continue to, break them down, and bring maybe lawyers to talk about it. I'm hoping I can get a former legislator to join the conversation next week. But today we're flying solo, you and I. So do we pay attention to these things? How many of us even knew? If you knew, raise your hand. And do you agree that only the president can have that immunity clause? And what does that? And I'm not in any way saying that the president is in the know. I'm even just saying, if the president be the only person with immunity, what does that signal in the generality of things, in the bigger scheme of things? What does that signal? Is that even a good thing for democracy? Or is it something that would help us solidify our very nascent democracy of 20-something years? Anyway, you'll answer. I'll move away from that. Drug prices. Drug prices may drop as federal government implements zero VAT duties. Remember yesterday we got a few calls and messages about drugs, medication. Let's not say drugs, because when we say drugs, it's about narcotics. I'm talking about medication. We call drugs a lot, and then you go to the US or you go to the UK and you say drugs, and they're like, sorry, say that again, please. Medication. The lady who called yesterday and said the last medication she bought might just be the last she's taking, and whatever's going to happen would happen, because she'd rather eat than buy the medication. 15,000 naira plus. The woman who was on the 30-day rant challenge also was complaining about her children with special needs, but then her son had most of the medication, and she listed up almost 10 of these medications and how much they've become. One went from 100 naira per tablet to 1,000. How? Oh, but then there's good news for you, ladies and gentlemen, because drug prices may drop as federal government implements zero VAT duties. Let me give you some background quickly. Experts say prices of medication are likely to drop following the implementation of the federal government's executive order on zero VAT and excise duties on pharmaceutical products and medical devices. The Nigeria Customs Service yesterday said it had commenced the implementation of the value-added tax and import duty exemption on raw materials essential for the production of pharmaceutical products. The National Public Relations Officer of the Customs Service, Assistant Controller of Customs Abdullahi Maywada, made the statement yesterday, saying the decision is in line with Mr. President's order to boost local production of healthcare products. But what about the ones that need to be imported, the ones that we do not produce here? And if majority of it is produced here, when will the prices start to reflect? It's good news. But what are your thoughts? Are you excited about this one? And then finally, before I come to the phone lines, Lagos, let's talk about River State. Yes, you know, River State is the only state in this democratic dispensation that's got a sole administrator who was a former naval officer. Well, the news coming from River State is telling us that the sole administrator has sacked all of the political office holders in River State. Yes, sole administrator suspends all political office holders in Rivers. Now, we all know that on the 18th of March, Mr. President declared a state of emergency, yada, yada, yada. We know that that's the backstory. Now, the sole administrator, Iborite Ibas, has suspended all political office holders in the south of the state. Southern states. Sorry. I was wondering. South of Rivers, really. Anyway, Mr. Ibas, a retired Vice Admiral and former Chief of Naval Staff, announced this in a statement issued by his Chief of Staff on Wednesday evening. The statement said the suspension takes immediate effect. The suspension affected all political appointees of the now suspended Governor Sim Fubar. The affected employees or appointees included the Secretary to the Government, the Chief of Staff, Commissioners, Chairpersons, and members of all boards, councils, agencies, commissions, institutions, parastatals, and special advisors, special assistants, and senior special assistants. The suspended officials were asked to hand over to the permanent secretary or most senior director where there is no permanent secretary. This is in pursuant of the powers conferred on the administrator of River State, and that's what the message read. Could this be a good thing? Because, you know, I'm one of those people who've always wondered why we have all these SSAs and SAs. Why don't we just have commissioners and leave it at that? But then you need people to sit on boards, agencies, and parastatals. Will this reduce the cost of governance in Rivers? On the flip side, who is he going to be appointing to fill those places? Is there going to be a need for him to reappoint people to fill those places, or is he just going to work with the permanent secretaries? And do you think people would be willing to work with the sole administrator, being that most of Rivers people are still divided in the middle as to if this state of emergency is a welcomed idea or a great idea? Let's talk. The phone lines are open. I'm going to let you do more of the talking. 0201 277 0993, 0201 465 7190, strictly for the ladies. So these are the big three stories for today. The immunity debate. Take off all the immunity clauses for governors and deputy governors and the vice president, but leave the presidents. Drug prices may drop as federal government implements zero VAT on pharmaceutical products. And then, of course, the sacking of all political appointees and office holders in River State. Let's go. 60 seconds is all you have. Go straight to the point. Hello, welcome to Hard Facts.
Good afternoon, Maryann.
Good afternoon. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
It's Pastor Ladipo.
Go ahead.
I'm calling from Ole in Sarigum.
Go ahead.
Maryann, this sole administrator, will he import the people he will work with? Does he know the people in River State that he is sacking people that some of them are even if they are political appointees? Is the man not trying to scatter the whole thing and start afresh? I don't understand.
But what's wrong with starting afresh? I mean, he's a sole administrator and he has sole powers to do whatever he wants.
Power? The question is this: the people he's going to bring, who will they be loyal to? I don't know, from one confusion to another.
Sorry, what does loyalty have to do with anything? This is an emergency rule. And I'm thinking that there is no constitution or democracy in an emergency rule. Hence, you have a former Navy captain or Navy commodore sitting there.
So the question now is this: will the people he will choose, will they be people from River State? If the answer is yes, which side will they be? See, there is a lot of things just going on in River State that is causing confusion. Lastly, Maryann, you see this constitutional amendment. The one that even surprised me the most is one of Lagos State. That the remaining LGAs they are going to turn them to local government. We know what is happening. Let us continue. We will create more states.
Thank you very much for calling. Thank you for calling. All right, 60 seconds is all you have. The LCDAs being turned into local government areas. I mean, that might be an executive order. I don't know if it's really necessarily a bill that... well, again, these are just bills, okay? So some of them might fall by the wayside depending on how interested we as Nigerians are in what's happening on the floor of the National Assembly, because it's like these guys fly under the radar and they can bank on the fact that we don't care. So these things are flying on over the radar or under the radar. So, but are we interested? Do we care about what's happening? Do we care about the letter, the print, everything that these guys are doing? Do we care about it? I can bet my bottom dollar that a lot of people did not know that these were the things that the bills that have passed or scaled second reading on the floor of the National Assembly. So when are we going to start participating and paying attention?
More news and information coming.
We'll be right back after this break.
Suleiman is 11. He rolls a tire under the bridge in Akwonjo. Doesn't go to school. Everybody knows him as the boy that draws under the bridge. We find Suleiman, get him to lead him to his mom, take us to their house, dusty drawer with cobwebs. They open it. Some of Suleiman's paintings, she was smart enough to keep them. Took about 3 or 4 of them, brought them to the gallery. Now, Suleiman will go to school, send his siblings to school. Like the story of patronage. Yeah.
Plus 234 Art Fair 2025 holds from March 27th to 31st at the Pan-African Center, brought to you by Soto Gallery and Echo Bank. Admission is free.
Hi, dey tasty, creamy and nourishing. E get vitamins A, D, E, B1, B9, B12 and zinc. Na original Naija yogurt. I beg you, make una throw away salute for fine yogurt. Beg you, go Jolly Mento with the new fine yogurt drinking yogurt.
Fine yogurt, original Naija yogurt.
We're back.
We're back.
We're back.
We're back.
We are back.
We're back on 99.3 Nigeria Info.
This is the Big Three.
The Big Three on Hard Facts
on 99.3 Nigeria Info.
It's still Hard Facts, 99.3 Nigeria Info. We're broadcasting live on Facebook and on YouTube at Nigeria Info FM. You could join the conversation via WhatsApp. It's 080-959-75805. You could also join the conversation on phone lines 0201-277-0993. That's for the men, 0201-277-0993. For the ladies, it's 0201-465-7190. 60 seconds is all you have. These are the big 3 stories for today. Immunity debate. What is good for the president is good for the vice president, says analysts. Of course, this is part of the resolutions on the floor of the National Assembly and part of the Constitution amendment that is ongoing on the floor of the National Assembly. These are bills that have scaled second reading, and one of these issues raised is obviously that the immunity of governors, deputy governors and the vice president be stripped, but that of the president left. And I asked a question: what does that signal? Growth in our democracy, expansion of our democracy, or does it mean something else? And of course, you can add to the dotted lines. Moving away from that, we also hear that The price of medication might go down as government has implemented zero VAT and duties on pharmaceutical products. And finally, the sole administrator of Rivers State, Eboy Tebas, has suspended all, or rather sacked all political office holders in the state. How easy is it going to be to pick new people? Does he need them? Does he need to have these people? Will he work with the permanent secretaries and reduce the cost of governance? Or and then if he does have to pick people, how easy will it be for him? And who would want to work with him? Let's hear your thoughts, Lagos. Hello, welcome to Hard Facts.
Hello.
Yeah, you can't call the female line. You're a man. Hello, welcome to Hard Facts.
Hi, Maryann.
Good afternoon. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Devoli calling from Ikorodu.
Go ahead.
First off, let me start with the medical issue. That the government is considering removing VAT is a huge relief. Maryann, for people that have children with special needs, if you know how much we spend to get medications for our children, talk more of other people that don't even have special needs or that are always on a regular on medications, diabetes, high BP, what have you. So it's a huge relief if this can follow through, because just to buy medications for children with special needs, it's a big trouble. Now let's move away from that. On the sole administrator, Maryann, we are in deep shit, we are in deep trouble.
You can't use that word on the radio, Madam Aboli, you know that.
Deep trouble, Maryann. Do you realize that a military personnel is displacing political elected people and replacing them with who?
No, they're appointees. They're appointees. They're not elected. Commissioners are not elected. They're appointees.
So, Maryann,
handpicked by a governor.
Do this he has done. I think I need enlightenment on that. Can he, as a sole administrator, can he?
Well, yes, because he didn't pick them. He's a sole administrator. He has sole powers, just as the name implies.
Absolute power, corrupt, absolutely.
Welcome to Nigeria, Mrs. Oboli.
Absolutely too much.
Thank you for calling. Welcome to Nigeria. Hello, welcome to Hard Facts. Hello, turn off your radio.
Hello.
Turn off your radio.
Hello.
Yes, I can hear you.
Maryann, the truth of the matter is that...
What's your name, sir? Where are you calling from?
I don't know. My name is Lawson. I'm calling from Yenagua.
All right.
Yeah, seriously, what people expecting that the sole administrator will work with the appointees of the former governor? No, we are trying to make peace. We want peace, and then you have to clear the entire stage for peace to come in. He's a sole administrator. What is the River State now? It's martial law. And so he can remove all of those people, and he can even just rule with the permanent secretaries. Permanent secretaries are even more informed than commissioners when you talk of administering the state. So he can work with. I don't think he's going to make all these many appointments. No, he just needs few people to work, and let's see how peace can come back to River State.
All right.
But it's obvious. So
thank you very much for calling.
Thank you.
Thank you very much for calling. Joy is calling us from Iba. Hello, Joy.
Hello, Maryann Okon. How are you today?
I'm fine, thank you. And you?
Thank God. This is Joy from Iba. Please, I want to ask you a question. The day our president announced about the administrator, he told us that it's only the governor, the deputy, and the
members of the House of Assembly
that are affected. Well, now, why is this administrator asking these people, asking them that they have to leave the office? And another thing I want to ask, it's only 6 months that he's going to stay there, according to the president. Why is he after?
Well, 6 months is a start. I mean, if they do not comply, and there's from the Googles or the standpoint of Mr. President, there is no peace. It might continue. So the people have to align.
There is peace. Yeah, why is he after these people? That means there is something behind this thing, There is something. Somebody is somewhere.
All right, Joy. Thank you very much for calling.
Let there be peace in the country. That is only what I want to.
All right. Thank you for calling, Joy. I appreciate it. We're still taking your thoughts and comments in a bit. I'll come to social media. Hello. Welcome to Hard Facts.
Yeah, Sean Lady. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
This is Chris calling from Ikoyi.
Go ahead, Chris.
For the House of Rep. You know, Nigerian president is the most powerful president in the world. So I dare them when I hear that news, immunity. But they come out now to tell us, exemption of the president. But every other one, they will scrap immunity or whatever for them. Then for the sole administrator, I thought the House of Rep, say before the man do anything, he will come through them. Did they pass this approval? Did they give him the approval to sack all those people that he's sacking? Has he gotten a list from
if the National Assembly has told you that everything he does will go through them, then it means that he went through them. Because if he doesn't, if he doesn't, the National Assembly would obviously raise an eyebrow. But the fact that they haven't raised an eyebrow means that they're in total support of whatever he's doing. Don't you think so?
We should have had it from you, from your news now. Say, National Assembly have approved this man to sack all these set of people. They've gotten the list from their kingmakers. They've succeeded. It's just a question of time. We all are in for it. Thank you.
Thank you very much for calling. I do appreciate it. It's still the Big Three on Hard Facts. I'm Maryann Okon. We're live on Facebook and on YouTube. Nigeria Info. Go there, post your comments. Don't just watch. Join the conversation. Samuel EJ here says, good afternoon, Maryann. What's the essence of immunity? Why not pass a bill to tell the governors and the president to give account of all their doings on a monthly basis? There should be a monitoring agent or a monitoring spirit. Africa Live 24 here says, the public budget must be balanced. Public debts must be reduced and arrogance of the authorities must be controlled. How do we do that, sir? By taking off all the immunity, yes, from the presidents, from the governors, so that they're all like us. We can drag anybody to court at any time and they will act us, Abby. If immunity must go for one, it must go for all, right? Or maybe I'm wrong. Azu is calling us via Skype. Let's take his call. Hello, Azu.
Hi, Mary the Ann.
How is Jakarta?
Jakarta is cool, real cool. We're not saying up Nepal here.
Whatever. Go ahead. Stop it.
I always rub it in.
Whatever.
Yeah. Maybe now. Yes. Light day, 24 hours. The internet is working very perfectly.
Okay, your time is going.
It's not my time. I'm still using to talk. Okay, back to the topic today. See, if for once let us applaud the government on this removal of VAT on medicine. Look, it have been done the day before yesterday, like since last year. I really pity those that have underlying health issues. Like you cited, 100 naira to 1,000. There's cost of living is high. You still pay expensive for drugs. It's very, very welcome. In fact, if we won't tell the government that money where they come off for subsidy, they should even put it to subsidize some drugs or medicine for some people, because falling ill is part of life. People fall sick and money no day. Then for the what do you call it, the immunity, that one concern them. They're starting with that one not concern us, because what are we saying here, Mary? So they are passing the bill that the president will sign. Abi, he will attest to it before it becomes law. Yes, it's a very, very well law. They some stop drugs. Like asthmatic patients, some calling about subsidy. No, 20,000.
What I say that I don't care. Let me get what people have reversed themselves. Check the latest news. Immunity will remain for VP, governor, and deputy governor. Whatever it is, I'm saying if we even want to have this conversation about immunity, have the people for it and say, sure, all the immunity, whether it be from the president, no, they're not, they have right, and people to us have a right them to be able of the word that we call them to superpowers. If not remove from the should be within the British law, be direct point his own for it probably not there, and we have conduct having between for this activity now doing people manage. I think happen than this week finally you didn't deal with the tell and say by accident. What was exactly? Adeboyega here says, in this part of the world, immunity begat impunity, recklessness, power show, corruption, etc. Reason why the president shouldn't be excluded from being stripped of it. Well, I hear that they've reversed themselves. I'm going to try and see what the update is. Chris, that's listening from Accra. How are you, Chris? He says the 39 proposed constitutional amendment bills are nothing new. The 9th Assembly was there also and was led by Ovie Moagege, DSP. At the passing final stage, you will see that only 2 of the bills will pass. Remember how 5 proposed constitutional amendment women bills were all vetoed in 2022? This same exercise will also become naught, he says. Constitutional amendment bill and proposals is a jamboree for assemblymen. Why do you not have face, Chris? Itodo John here from Lekki One says, electoral reform bill for transmission of election results electronically is included. We want to do away with bad eggs in the political spaces. So, Itodo, we're going to talk about this extensively next week. I hope that you stay tuned, and I want everybody to carry pen and paper, because I really hate to think that these guys would be, doing stuff and we're not carried along. And then one day you wake up and hear that all the LCDAs in Lagos have become local government areas. Who's it going to favor? I'm coming back to the phone lines. Hello, welcome to Hard Facts.
Good afternoon.
Yes, good afternoon. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
My name is Robert. I am calling
Robert,
you from
turn off that radio. I don't want to hear myself. I can still hear myself. You lowered the volume. Turn it off completely.
It's a generator. I don't have radio. I always put off my radio. It's not radio.
Go ahead.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you.
Those that are blaming the sole administrator of River State are making a very big mistake. That man is not, no constitution guides him now as he is ruling that state. It's a military rule is not governed by a constitution. So it can do, though, according to the constitution, they said the Act of Parliament, that the National Assembly will make law for the state where the state of emergency will expire. But he has the right to do whatever. He's a military man. Instead of them to blame that, they should blame Tinubu. They should blame Tinubu who removed an elected governor of the state, which the session did not give him power.
Thank you very much for calling. Thank you for calling. 60 seconds is all you have. 0201 277 0993. We're looking at the big 3 stories from today. John from Ijaniki says House of Representatives should be careful about this issue of Lagos LCDA turning to local government. Why should they be careful? Are Lagosians interested in what's happening on the floor of the House of Representatives? Do they know what's happening? Do they know the content of that bill and why the LCDAs would be turned to local governments? Well, I'll be having that conversation next week. You do not want to miss it. So this person here says, when a sleeping child farts, it's wise to wake him up to perceive the odor from that part. In the nearest future, all those who orchestrated this Rivers State illegality will be woken up to perceive the odor of what they had done to peaceful River State. Karma is real, says Olusho Gajai. Thank you very much for your message. This one says, good afternoon, Maryann. Beautiful lady on the mic, thank you very much. Don't bother so much on Super Eagles. On River State, the so-called sole administrator is adding more issues to what is on the ground. What is he adding? He says, I don't think the sole administrator should be empowered to do whatever he likes. Democracy is gone in River State. Okay, so you don't think that he should be doing whatever he wants, but then democracy is gone. Hey, Oga, stay one side. He says, on the immunity removal from governors and others, it is better that they remove immunity from all political office holders, including the president. Yummy from Maryann Okon. Thank you. This one says, good afternoon, Maryann. The sole administrator of River State will not pick people. Now, Wike will give him a list of people to work with. He does not know anyone there. Oh, just so you know, he actually did serve in River State for a bit, so he has some knowledge of River State. So he's not totally a novice, okay? Someone says, I just heard the immunity bill yesterday when it passed second reading, and I was like, wow, this present federal government is subtly trying to make laws on the ground that will haunt everyone in years to come, while the same federal government had kept its citizens busy with some other arguments. But I just saw it in the news a couple of minutes ago that the immunity bill has been stepped down by the House of Reps today. As for Rivers, the hand of Jacob is playing the roles of Esau in the state. How is the administrator able to appoint new kitchen cabinets in a week after appointment and work with the new ones in 6 months? Abilu, these questions, you should keep them from Iborite for Iborite Ibas. He probably would be in a better position to answer them. Listen says, I know Nigeria is not a federal republic of Tinubu, Akpabio and Wike. If the Senate wants to remove immunity, it should be for both president and the governors. Not only governors, I know the president wants to use his illegality against his opponents. It's not the president that is passing this bill. Victor from Ilukbeju. Back to the phone lines. Hello, welcome to Hard Facts.
Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
This is
Go ahead.
What kind of cabinet the two administrators want to appoint? This people that you want to be in power.
I cannot hear you because you're in a very noisy place and you sound more in the background.
Yeah, let me move from the noisy. Are you hearing me now?
I can hear you. Let's go.
So what kind of performance do you two administrators want to perform? In democratic government in 6 months, it doesn't make sense.
But he has a job. He was appointed to do a job. He will do the job, whether he likes it or not.
What kind of job? Did he plan for it before? Did he prepare for him before? What kind of political appointment or not? Or military appointment or decree? I did not say anything. The man will just be there, just be making money. In 6 months, what kind of budget do you want to present? When the assembly wants to present budget for him? Is there any constitution that appoints him there that this is how you do it?
Okay.
Or including the budget?
Thank you very much for calling.
God bless you. God bless
Thank you for calling. I do appreciate it. Hello, welcome to Hard Facts.
Hello, Maryann.
Good afternoon. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Uzoma.
Hi, Uzoma.
Maryann, God bless you for a good job. Maryann, since I was born, I've never seen where a leader will say something and he will not prove himself as a good leader. They are saying now that they're going to remove tax from this, from that. Nobody today will hear them. Please let them do the talk and not talk.
It's been implemented. It's been implemented, love. I just said it, that it was implemented, and the spokesperson for the customs has said that they're going to implement it.
Please, because the cost of drugs are so much, as well as not the only drugs, the cost of food, no light at all. Make them do something. Not just occupy a seat and be making noise, disturbing and working out of Nigeria Constitution. Their own is too much. Their own is too much. Well done.
Okay. Just breathe. Hello, welcome to Hard Fact. Hello, welcome to Hard Fact.
Hello.
Good afternoon. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Good afternoon. My name is Amy.
Go ahead, AB.
Yeah, hi. I think for me, when it comes to the immunity thing, I'm thinking of it in a way that if deputies don't have immunity, wouldn't that be a good thing? Wouldn't that make you raise alarm more if you know that something is not being done right you don't have any immunity that covers
let's
you?
Look at it like this too. If you don't have immunity, your boss can chastise you. He can do whatever he likes with you.
But at the same time, you should also be able to, if you don't have immunity, nothing is covering you, that means you should also be able, you should become like a whistleblower for your boss. That's good. And I'm
Don't forget, your boss has immunity and you can tell any story you want about your boss, but nothing's going to happen to him.
That's true, though. But I think what is important is, I think immunity for presidents, after they've said, should also be considered something that is removed. I don't even know if he exists, but nobody has been charged yet, so it looks like he exists. If it exists, we should look into that. So maybe he doesn't have immunity while he's in power, but after you have finished your tenure, we should be able to probe you.
My dear, they've dropped the idea. Don't worry. Except we pick it up and then petition them to take it up again. This time, drop all the immunity.
Yeah. All right, thank you.
Amy, thanks a lot for calling. I do appreciate it. Hello, welcome to Hard Facts.
Hello, Maryann. Good afternoon. This is Obi calling from Ikeja.
Obi, you have not called me since. What happened?
Yeah, the traffic is too much. Your station is too hot.
Oh, my God.
Traffic is too much. Maryann, let me ask you, the senators, the House Assembly, do they have any immunity?
No, they don't. Our legislators don't have.
What have we done? What have we done against the
and most of us are yet to test the recall process. We're waiting for Natasha's own to go through.
Oh, my sister, I want to sing music concerning River State. Trouble they sleep in Yanga, they welcome Nabalaba. You they find River State in Nabalaba. You they find though. Well, stop telling me shut up, please. I don't like it. Stop telling me shut up.
Obi, please get off my phone. I still want to read some of your messages as they're coming in on Facebook and on YouTube. Don't forget, we're live on Facebook and on YouTube. Nigeria Info FM. Comrade Damian Nampan here saying, removal of VAT is good news to Nigerians. For sole administration, he is working for Tinubu and the Minister, Wiki. Alfred Okon here says, I'm really excited about the removal of duties on and VAT on pharmaceuticals, but I hope it makes the price of medication drop. Thank you, Alfred. He's watching us from Onitsha. Elmimian Monday says, removal of duties and VAT on pharmaceuticals is a welcomed development. Thank you. He's sending us that message from Ikorodu. And I've got 4 minutes on the clock. I want to make sure that everyone's carried along. Don't forget, on X, you can also send me a message. Use the hashtag hardfacts. Okay? Joy Forever says, this bill on immunity will not be signed. All these bills must be scrutinized. Tinubu is a funny man that can make himself a life president. Come on, man. It's not going to happen. Are you going to sit down and let anybody make himself a life president? Obasanjo tried. It didn't work. He says, Wike is a sole administrator. He will put his men. Nigeria is walking on dangerous path and it may not end. Okay. Thank you, Joy Forever. I'm back to the phone lines. I've got 3 minutes. Hello. Welcome to Hard Facts.
Hi, Maryann. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. All right, Rapper, go ahead, please.
Well, for the VAT, I don't know how it goes, but I think it should go well because still remember the duty waiver said last time, and we all know how it went. Yeah, but what happens to imported medicines? Are they removing the import duties as well?
That's the question that I asked.
Yeah, and then for the impunity or what have you, I think they are not considering the electorate. Otherwise, I should tell them that democratically elected governor, president, vice president, they are all included. If there's scribe it, let them scrap all of them. So, and as well, they know how they do their things. They don't consider the electorate. They say the mayor. And I never see when the mayor have it. And they always know how they do their thing.
All right.
Let's watch and see how it goes. Thank you.
Thank you very much for calling. I do appreciate it, Rapper Chiku. I'm going to go back to WhatsApp quickly because I do not have time anymore. Someone says, hello, Maryann. The Green Chamber proclaimed that there will be no extension after the 6 months in ratifying the President's state of emergency request. Okay, lovely. What did the Red Chamber say? Damien here says, please tell Mr. Chris Onwuka that he's alone in need for it. He should stop generalizing this predicament, please. Chris, they say, yeah, I need to, only you alone. Please, don't be dragging us into this, your it. Wills from Oko says the River State Administrator is acting under the influence of the President's order and he can't act against his will and decision. The President is really exercising his authoritative and autocratic leadership in the state, hence capturing the state against Wike's initial plan and will. This Tinubu administration came from the back door and from the onset simply means that anything he touches is illegal and against the Constitution. Wills, really? Well, he was sworn in. INEC announced him as the winner of the elections. He was sworn in and he's your president. I don't know what backdoor is. Which backdoor? Because it's INEC. It's not that it's the court self that's made him president. It's INEC. So there is no backdoor. APC government under this one says this administration and House of Senate are the worst Senate in Nigeria. or that Nigeria has ever had. Shame on them. This is Blessing from Oshodi. What did they do to you now? This one says, hi Maryann, the Okoya kids who broke the law on Naira handling, do they have immunity? So Nigerians believe if they remove immunity, these leaders will become untouchable. Nigerians are just too slow. No, sir, don't say that we're too slow. We take exceptions to speaking to us like that. And I do understand where you're coming from. Does Akpabio have immunity? Oh, but then one person was suspended. Yeah, I understand. I understand. This one says, Maryann, the emergency rule is... I'll be right back.
More talk, news and sports after this.
A big part of our initiative anyway in trying to get the kids into our schools is that they can start to see and perhaps understand and master a little bit their own God-given talent. Before they are even trained, you can draw. Do you understand what I'm saying? Everything else you have to learn. Science, you have to learn. Everything else you have to learn. So it's then how do we nurture that, right? And nurturing is patronage.
Yeah. Plus 234 Art Fair 2025 holds from March 27th to 31st at the Pan-African Center, Ozumba Mbadiwe, brought to you by Soto Gallery and Echo Bank. Admission is free.
Welcome back to your number one talk, news, and sports station. This is Nigeria Info.
Nigeria
Info. Millions of listeners trust us on Hard Fact, whether it's politics, social issues, controversies, and trending stories. You know we're credible and objective.
It's Hard Facts with Maryann Okon on 99.3 Nigeria Info.
So this 6 months of emergency rule is so that they can return rivers to a peaceful state and certain things will be complied with. Now, I've heard people say that if this compliance doesn't follow, then there might be an extension. Although the National Assembly has said it's 6 months. Anyway, Ugo from Jakonde here says, Jakonde Estate in Isolo, says the emergency rule is for 6 months. What if Fubara comes back? Will he start appointing commissioners again, or have they removed him permanently? He's just suspended. Nobody has said that he's been removed permanently. George from Ijigbo says, sorry to ask this question. Where's Yaya Bello? Very funny. This one says they are rescinding the law on immunity. I can bet you most of the senators that want to be governor would have dug their own graves. On medical and medications, may you not be sick is my prayer. State of emergency may remain in River State till 2027, but I pray we all live to see the end. Ayo. Well, why are we being so extreme today? Let me take one call. Hello, welcome to Hard Facts. Yes,
Good
what's your name?
afternoon.
Where are you calling from?
This is the one of Odobolu.
Go ahead.
You see, if na me be Fubara, I for kuku carry my family, carry everything wey belongs to me, come up for this country, leave them alone with their. Because the man is saying that he doesn't want to even be governor before. Now the man come beg and make him come, he go hand over to them. So now where the man don't show him true color, if na me, I will just carry my load, carry everything wey belongs to me, come up for the country, go and relax my way. Because already he don't make him money. Don't collect our money, they in pocket, he can live comfortable for 100 years, nobody will trouble him. So even I me be him.
Which money did he collect? Why are you saying things that you don't know?
Well, but I want to ask this, no verse at the beg you, make no verse. Say,
your time is up. Your time is up. Thank you for calling. Your 60 seconds is over. I have just 1 minute before we wrap up. Yvonne is coming with the news at the top of the hour. But then on Global Review, we're going to the DRC. Don't forget, there's a crisis in the DRC. There's no food, there's no water. Rwanda and Uganda have been accused for having a hand in the crisis. And the M23 rebels who have taken over certain parts of the DRC. My guest is joining me from Tennessee in the United States, and we're going to be talking about the fact that the EU has recognized that Rwanda is obviously involved in this, but what actions need to be taken. That we will be talking about on Global Review. Yvonne is here with the news on the other side of the clock. Let's go to the DRC. Stay tuned.
There's a reason why over 1 million people tune in to Hardback.
99.3 Nigeria Info. We are more than just radio. Subscribe to our YouTube channel at Nigeria Info FM. Check us out on Facebook at Nigeria Info 99.3. Follow us on Twitter at Nigeria Info FM and on Instagram at Nigeria Info FM Lagos for live updates as it happens. 99.3 Nigeria Info. Let's talk. 99.3 Nigeria Info. We are more than just radio. Subscribe to our YouTube channel at Nigeria Info FM. Check us out on Facebook at Nigeria Info 99.3. Follow us on Twitter at Nigeria Info FM and on Instagram at Nigeria Info FM Lagos for live updates as it happens. 99.3 Nigeria Info. Let's talk.